Good afternoon and welcome to a special Ross edition. We're calling the College Football Bowl Bash, and I am your host Matt Harrelson, alongside with me Bran Fall and Russell Parker. And we thought they're going bowling in college football, so we figured we would too. We set up shop here inside of Strikers Bowling Alley, of course, on East Broad Street. We appreciate them for letting us do that. We want to say thank you, especially to the owners, Angel and Steve Thompson. Of course, right next door, Godfather's Pizza. And I don't know if you guys have had that, but it's
love Godfather's. Yes,
absolutely. So, first of all, I have to say with some regret that I was not able to win this year's Pick'em Championship. That actually goes to Russell. So congratulations to that. Of course, you got the win with Army's win this past Saturday.
Well, I had it as well beforehand, so it's kind of just waiting until the final score comes out.
Yeah, but you didn't do much bragging though. I had to say.
I figured I'd let you guys acknowledge it before I would.
I had to remind you that you had won, so I take that with a grain of salt. But anyway, nonetheless, congratulations, and we'll try to get you next year. But in the meantime, we're going to make some picks later on and see who's going to win that once we get done with bowl season. But in the meantime, of course, the Heisman was also decided this past Saturday, and I know we've talked about that already on the sports show. But Russell, now that you're joining us, Kyler Murray ends up winning it, the Oklahoma quarterback. Now, I know you've been rooting for Tua to win it. Him getting hurt there at the end, you think that probably hurt his chances?
I think it did. I mean, Tua has been one of the best quarterbacks all season for sure. But Kyler Murray, he's been doing very well all season as well. I personally don't think he should have gotten it because of the defense he hasn't played really all season. Tua has obviously showed what he can do, but yeah, I think the injury against Georgia has definitely affected it big time.
Yeah, absolutely. Now talk about Kyler Murray, because we discussed this. You know, he's got the opportunity to go play Major League Baseball if he wants to. They've already signed him for like a $4 million deal. Do you think maybe he might regret going to the MLB? Do you think he should stay and potentially play in the NFL?
I think that he has a great shot with going back into the professional level of football. I would say stick with that, but I mean, if he wants to go out and play MLB and he can do it, I mean, go for it.
Yeah, and just to reiterate what you were saying the other day, you know, that money's sitting there, but something I was telling you is he's not going to be able to go straight into Major League Baseball he would with the NFL. Of course, Scott Boras, his agent there, and I think maybe he said that a deal could be tomorrow, it could be 2 months from now. We really don't know. That's kind of how Boras operates, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's you know, this all could be just a power play on his part to try to drive up his value in NFL draft. We don't know.
Yeah, but again, congratulations to Kyler Murray on winning the Heisman this year, second Oklahoma quarterback in as many years to win. So something's in the water down there. Lincoln Riley's feeding them. Moving on. So we're going to talk about bowl games today. Of course, this being our bowl special. But an underlying factor that we've seen over the last few years is some of the top guys that are potential top draft picks, are sitting out of their bowl games. It started with Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey a couple of years ago at LSU and Stanford, respectively. But now we're starting to see it become a trend. What's your opinion on this?
You know, we talked about it a little bit before. You know, the college football purists, I get why they want them to play. And I totally get that. It does hurt the bowl games. I'm sure it hurts their ticket sales and all this kind of stuff. But we saw with Jalen Smith a couple years ago, Notre Dame decided to play it. Cost himself millions of dollars in contract money by the injury, and they really thought he would never play again. So I get why they got to protect themselves. I get it. I'm all for them doing what they got to do.
I mean, absolutely right. And when you're talking about that much money, I mean, again, tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Will Grier is another player that we've talked about, or just came out recently, West Virginia's quarterback that's going to sit out. Do you think it's more important for quarterbacks to do this because it is such a sensitive position and it's worth more money in the long run?
I think so. I mean, I used to be a purist in terms of, you know, you should play your bowl games. You work so hard for it that season. You should go out there and play with the rest of your team, especially if you're a senior. But, you know, you got to think about your future as well. And it's a business decision. I respect that. I think, you know, especially at a quarterback position or a running back position or a receiver or, you know, whatever it is, it's really, really high paid. I think you have to look at that. And not only that, but you're also giving your second string and your third string the opportunity to go out and play as well in that bowl game. They may not have the opportunity next season, but they might get one there.
Yeah. I mean, you're right on the money. Another question I wanted to ask you guys is, sitting out with these bowls, like Ed Oliver is another guy that's sitting out for Houston, but then there's other guys like Justin Herbert, quarterback for Oregon, that wants to play. Do you think, I'm not sure exactly what the question is, but do you think maybe he gets more respect by playing in the game from his teammates, from the fan base, as opposed to fans that may look at a guy like Will Grier and say, well, he's not, you know, taking up for his team? He's not going to be there in the fight. What do you think?
Well, I'm sure the alumni in Oregon are thrilled that he's playing. I'm sure his teammates are thrilled that he's playing. His coaches are thrilled that he's playing. I mean, he gives them the best chance to win, or he wouldn't be the starting quarterback. Yeah. So I think they're certainly going to hold him in high regard there.
And then one thing we haven't seen with this yet is anybody that's a top draft pick on one of the teams playing for a championship. That hasn't happened yet. Do you think maybe that's going to be down the line where we've got to say, you know what, even though it's for a national championship, it's still millions of dollars I'm putting on the line?
I hope not.
Me too. As much as I said I understand it, I agree with Russell. I hope it doesn't ever affect the national championship game because, I mean, that's just such a great time of the college football season, and I'd hate to see it decided by a player sitting out.
And if you sit out, I mean, you don't get to say that you won a national championship. I mean, you won a team, but you didn't play for that team.
Right.
You got your team there. You should be able to continue on with that. And I think when you're looking at it from an agent's perspective in the NFL, you're thinking, well, this guy's just quitting on his team. Is he going to quit on me when it gets time for the need to be out there?
All right. So that's going to do it for that. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of our show here today. Let's get into the bowl games. Now, there are 39 bowls altogether.
Wow.
And we're going to hit every one of them starting right now. So we've all done our picks. I think you're going to put them up on a graphic for everybody to be able to check out.
Now.
Go straight to Vegas. I'll be 39 for 39.
That won't be good if you're a Clemson fan, but we'll get to that here in just a second. But let's start with the Cure Bowl. And a lot of these bowls, by the way, you can't make some of these names up. But anyway, the Cure Bowl, Tulane versus Louisiana Lafayette. So real quick, who you guys picking?
I've got Tulane.
And I had Louisiana Lafayette.
We are together, Brand. I've also got Louisiana Lafayette. They actually played for their conference title. That's good enough for me.
That's right.
Moving forward, the New Mexico Bowl is going to be Utah State, who had double-digit wins this year against North Texas. Who you guys got?
I'm going to take Utah State on this one. Like you just said, they are playing big this season.
Yeah, and I took Utah State as well.
Yep, I'm right there with you guys. Although Matt Wells, their coach, just left.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
He did, and I can't even remember which team he's going to. He's moved up, though. He's moving to a Power 5, I believe. So
is he coaching the bowl game?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, he's not. So perhaps that may have something to do with it. But again, we're all taking Utah State.
Yep.
Moving forward, heading out to Vegas for the Vegas Bowl. That's going to have Arizona State versus Fresno State, another team that's outside of the Power 5 but also won double-digit games. Who you guys got?
I'm going to go with ASU. I think they got a pretty strong team this year to go out there and win a bowl game.
And I picked Fresno State.
All right, I'm with you. I took also the Bulldogs. Arizona State, I think, will be good in the long run with Herm Edwards there. But right now, I think Fresno State's just a better squad.
Yep.
Another small bowl, the Camellia Bowl. That's going to be Georgia Southern versus Eastern Michigan. Who you got?
I like Georgia Southern on this one.
Me too. I like their conference. I think they've got a pretty good, solid conference. I picked Georgia Southern.
I've got Georgia Southern as well. And if one of their players walked in right now, I wouldn't know it.
Me neither.
Moving forward, heading down to the Bayou, the New Orleans Bowl is going to be Middle Tennessee versus App State. I think I might know who you guys have on this, but
go Mountaineers.
Appalachian State all the way. Beautiful place to watch a football game.
Absolutely, and I'm right there with the Mountaineers all the way in that one, and they're a really good team.
They are good. That's not just a sentimental pick. They can play.
Absolutely. The Boca Raton Bowl. So we've got a bunch of these that are down in Florida, and this is one of those. That's going to be UAB, Alabama Birmingham, who just 4 years ago didn't even have a football program.
Wow.
And they're going to be taking on Northern Illinois. Who are you picking?
I'm going to go with UAB on this one.
And I took Northern Illinois.
I took UAB as well, and I just want to see them win. To be not even be a program just a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Up next is the Frisco Bowl. That's going to be San Diego State and Ohio.
I don't really like Ohio this one. I'm going to go with San Diego State.
I went San Diego State as well.
I took the Aztecs, and it just seems like they always pump out running backs. I just assume they have another
It's
one
a factor. You know somebody there can run the ball.
Absolutely. Up next is the Gasparilla Bowl. Again, they're running out of bowl names.
Love that name.
Marshall versus South Florida. And South Florida was another team just a couple years ago that was up there in the top of the group of 5 teams.
Made some noise this season as well. I'm going to go with Marshallville on this one here.
Okay.
They've got a pretty strong team.
Yeah, I went with the Thunder and Herd as well. I mean, that was a little bit of an upset pick.
All right.
I think.
That's cool. I've got South Florida, though, so that's a chance for me to pick up a point.
All right, cool.
Moving on, the Bahamas Bowl, and I know the teams that get
that's
into
the
this
one I
one,
want to go to.
They always love to be chosen for this one. It's going to be Florida International, otherwise known as FIU, going up against Toledo's high-powered offense.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Toledo on here on this one.
Okay.
And I went with Toledo, but probably neither team really cares who wins. They're in the Bahamas.
That's right, yeah. I mean, if you're from Florida, I get, but if you're from Toledo, the Bahamas is
that's
the other
just
side
awesome.
of the world. So.
They're probably just chilling out together in the club or something.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Up next is the Potato Bowl. This is going to be Western Michigan versus BYU.
All the way up in Idaho. I'm going to go with Brigham Young.
All right.
I went with the Cougars as well. I think they're the Cougars.
We are 3 for 3. Yeah, is that the one that takes place in Boise?
Yep.
On the Smurf turf.
Beautiful field.
Yeah, absolutely. Up next is the Birmingham Bowl. That's going to be Memphis and Wake Forest. Of course, Memphis coming off that loss against UCF in their conference championship.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to pick them because they had a strong season there. I mean, it wasn't as great as UCF, but they played a very well game against them. Wake Forest just haven't made a lot of noise this season. I'm surprised they didn't get to a bowl.
All right.
I think Memphis is probably favored to win this game. I went with Demon Deacons in an upset.
Okay.
Just went local.
Yeah.
Mary Catherine Coltrane, cheerleader.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Carolina or Richmond County connection. Yeah.
Right.
Memphis, I think, has a really high-powered offense. Wake Forest, like you mentioned, has been kind of up and down. They've had some issues with their quarterback either being suspended or being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Memphis in this one. Armed Forces Bowl is up next. That's going to be Houston versus Army. Of course, Army just got you the win, man. So who you got?
I'm going to take Army on this one. They've been playing great all season long, probably one of their better seasons in a while. And coming off that against Navy, winning that game, a lot of momentum behind them.
Yep. Army's got to win the Armed Forces Bowl. Come on. I mean, they've had a good year. I went with Army.
You would hope so. However, I'm taking Houston. Even without Ed Oliver on that defensive line, I think it's still got a really good defense.
They're a good team.
They're a good team indeed. Up next is the Dollar General Bowl. Gotta love that one. Buffalo versus Troy.
I'm going to stick with the Alabama roots here, going with Troy.
Okay.
I went with Troy.
All right, I also went with Troy, and it's funny what you figure out ways to pick this. They actually they hung with Clemson last year, so that's good enough reason for me.
That's right.
Up next is the Hawaii Bowl, another one that a lot of teams would get to go to. However, the home team's actually going to be there. The Hawaii Warriors versus Louisiana Tech. So who you got in the Hawaii Bowl?
I'm not picking the home team on this one. I'm going to go with LA Tech.
I went with Hawaii.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Home field advantage.
Yep,
that's good enough.
Yep.
The First Responders Bowl, that's going to be Boston College and Boise State. So this one's an interesting matchup.
I'm going with the Broncos.
Okay.
I went with Boston College.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can remember the name of their running back that's been really good for them, and I always forget his name.
No, and I should. I've actually seen him.
He's very underrated, I think, but I'm still taking Boise. Another one of those Group of 5 teams that won 10 games this year.
Yeah, good team, by the way. They are a good team.
Yeah, they're both good teams. Up next is the Quick Lane Bowl, another ACC team in this, Georgia Tech versus Minnesota. Who you got?
Minnesota.
I went with the Gophers as well.
I'm taking the ACC boys in this one. I'm taking Georgia Tech in that weird offense, although Paul Johnson no longer there anymore. Yeah, they got rid of him. And that actually might be where Matt Wells is going, the Utah State coach.
Okay, all right.
Up next is the Cheez-It Bowl. Gotta love this name.
What a great name for a bowl.
California and TCU.
So instead of the Gatorade, did they dump Cheez-Its on them?
I would hope so.
There we go. I would rather have Cheez-Its dumped on me.
Yeah.
Well, I think they'll be dumping on the TCU coach.
I do too. I think TCU will get the Cheez-Its pass.
It will be on Gary Patterson.
Yeah.
I've also got the Horned Frogs in that one. Independence Bowl. Once again, another ACC team. This time it's the Duke Blue Devils taking on the Temple Owls. Who you got?
Well, I'm finally going to take an ACC team here, Duke.
I went with Duke. I think they're solid.
Yeah, I also went with Duke. As much as I hate to admit,
that's right.
They've got a really good quarterback in Daniel Jones, and ever since Cutcliffe went there, Duke has been formidable in football.
Every year, man. They're now a football school.
Well, I don't know about all that, but Pinstripe Bowl. This was an interesting one. Takes place in Yankee Stadium. This is going to be Miami heading all the way up to New York to take on Wisconsin.
I'm going to go with Wisconsin. They are adapted to that cold weather, so they can.
I went with Wisconsin for the exact same reason. I just would be interested to see how Miami plays up there in the cold in New York.
I took Wisconsin for 2 words or one name, Jonathan Taylor, their running back. He's only a sophomore, but potential Heisman winner in the future.
Good, really good player.
Up next, the Texas Bowl, which is going to have Baylor playing in their home state against Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. I don't know if you call that an upset though, because Baylor hasn't been that great either. Yeah. So I think the SEC's got this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I went Vandy. Baylor's produced some pretty good NFL talent over the last few years. But I went, like Russell said, I don't know if I can consider that an upset, but I went Vandy.
I'm taking Baylor, and I just feel like eventually they're going to be back to where they were a few years ago. But both teams good in this one. That'd be a solid matchup.
Yep.
Music City Bowl taking place in Nashville. That's going to be Purdue and your favorite team, Russell, Auburn.
I'm not taking Auburn in this one.
What a surprise.
Purdue.
Okay.
I went Auburn. My wife's cousin went there. Got to go with Auburn. And probably the one bowl I'd love to go to, Mississippi City Bowl. I love Nashville. I'd love to go.
I love Nashville too. I'm going to take Auburn. I feel like they are the better team of the two. However, this is the same Purdue team that beat Ohio State earlier this year by almost 30 points. So,
that's right.
That one could go either way. Up next is the Camping World Bowl, West Virginia against, once again, another ACC team, this time the Syracuse Orange. Who you got?
I like West Virginia. Will Greer and that team's been stellar all season. I'm going with them.
Right.
And I went Syracuse. They've had a really solid year. And I think their coach just got extended today or yesterday.
Dino?
Yeah, I think
nice.
he got a contract extension. I could be wrong about that, but I think I read that.
I'm taking the Mountaineers because of Will Greer, David Sills V. They're a really good wide receiver.
Yeah.
Syracuse has really improved this year, though.
Yeah.
I think this will be a game where last team scores wins.
Yeah.
Both have a really good offense. Up next is the Alamo Bowl. I'm assuming that's in San Antonio.
You would think.
That's going to be Iowa State and Washington State. So who you got?
I like Washington State. They've had a strong season all year. I mean, Iowa State had a good season too. I think Washington State is just one of the better teams here.
Yeah. And I went with Iowa State on this one.
Okay.
Just
I took the Cougars, and I've been kind of on their bandwagon all year, and I was pulling for them, and they all got all the way up to number 8. Of course, they ended up losing to Washington in the championship, and that was it for them. But I'm going to take the Cougars in this one. Up next is the one right here in the Carolinas, the Charlotte Belk Bowl. That's going to be South Carolina and Virginia. Who you taking?
I like South Carolina on this one.
All right.
I went Virginia. I know the Gamecock fans are going to hate me for that, but I went Virginia.
I'm taking the Gamecocks. My dad's a South Carolina fan.
Yeah.
Virginia's in the ACC, but I think South Carolina's. We talk about their quarterback all the time.
Yeah, and they played a great game against Clemson. I don't see why they shouldn't win this game.
And South Carolina, and that's almost like a home game for the Gamecocks.
Yeah. Up next is the Arizona Bowl, Arkansas State versus Nevada Wolfpack. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Nevada.
Okay.
Went with Nevada as well.
I went with Arkansas State, and good luck, because again, stranger on the streets.
Yeah, that's right.
Up next, the Military Bowl, Cincinnati, once again, ACC team, Virginia Tech.
I keep forgetting they're ACC.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Hokies on that one.
Okay.
I went with the Bearcats.
All right, I'm taking Virginia Tech, staying with the ACC on that one. The Sun Bowl's up next, Stanford and Pitt. A lot of ACC teams making it this year.
Yeah. But I'm going to go with the Stanford Cardinal on this one here.
I picked Stanford as well. I think Pitt. I was shocked to see them get all the way through to the ACC championship game. A same team that got blown out, well, not blown out, but beat by Carolina.
Yeah.
And I really don't think they can hang with Stanford.
All right. Actually, I've got Stanford as well. Not really sure what happened to Bryce Love this year, but they're still a really good team.
Yep.
Up next, the Red Box Bowl. Turn this one back in when you're done with it.
$1.25
Michigan State and
ticket.
Oregon. Who you got?
I'm going to like the Ducks on this one.
That's right. I went with Oregon as well, even without their quarterback.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's going to be
that's
there.
right. He's playing.
Yeah,
He's the one playing.
Herbert's
That's right. He's playing.
And that's the reason why I'm taking Oregon.
Yep,
that
that's
offense
right.
against Michigan State's defense, I think they'll pull out. All right. Got just a couple minutes here, so let's run through these other ones real quick. Liberty Bowl, Missouri versus Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
That's right. Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys as well. I love Mike Gundy. The mullet
right.
all day.
That's
Holiday
right.
Bowl, Northwestern and Utah.
I went with the Utes.
I took Northwestern. They did just play Ohio State for the Big 12 or Big 10 championship, so whatever that's worth. Of course, so did Pitt. Here's one with another local team, the Gator Bowl, NC State and Texas A&M. I think this could be a potentially exciting matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to really watch this one when it comes on, but I'm going with the Aggies on this one.
Okay.
I went with the Wolfpack, and I think that could, in my opinion, this could be one of those games last team with the ball wins.
Yeah, I'm taking A&M kind of for the same reason, although Ryan Finley, if he's not in the NFL, somebody did something wrong.
I agree.
And then 2 more here, the Outback Bowl, Mississippi State and Iowa.
Mississippi State.
All right.
Need more cowbell, Mississippi State.
2 SECs. I'm taking the Hawkeyes. And then finally, guys, the Citrus Bowl, Kentucky and Penn State. Another good matchup.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Kentucky.
good. I went Penn State, although I was born in Kentucky, so I went against my heart and went with who I think will win.
All right. And you took?
Kentucky.
You took Kentucky. All right. I'm taking Penn State. I think they've got the better team. Even after Saquon Barkley left, they've got another really good running back behind him. Kentucky, though, back in football, it seems like. So
I'd love to see it.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for this portion of the College Football Bash here at Strikers Bowling Alley. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with all the big bowls and the national championship picks.
Hi, this is Christina with Richmond County Hospice. I'm with Julie and Holly, and we're here to talk about how wonderful Hayden Construction was during our recent pipe bursting and flooding in our building.
In 10 to 15 minutes they were here, and they were already starting to work vacuuming up the water, trying to figure out where all the damage was, what all they needed to do.
They were so quick to get on the scene. They were here before I even arrived, and it was just reassuring to have them come in and take control.
We are so thankful that they were here to help us that day.
At Richmond Community College, we can prepare you for a high-skill, high-paying career in a variety of fields. From business to education, engineering, utilities, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, and human services. At Richmond Community College, we can save you thousands of dollars on tuition through our university transfer programs that provide a seamless transition to universities and colleges throughout North Carolina. At Richmond Community College, we are always developing new courses and programs in response to the communities we serve. We offer day, evening, and online courses, and you can now complete 5 curriculum programs entirely online. At Richmond Community College, we believe in helping you prepare for a better life. Richmond Community College. Local college, big impact.
At Richmond County Hospice, we strive to provide high-quality care to our patients and their families. Whether it's the incredible hospitality at the Haven House or from the comfort of your own home, you can count on hospice to be there for you. We also offer monthly grief support groups, and our chaplain will be there to hold your hand in prayer. Through our amazing staff and our volunteers, hospice has made difficult times easier for our community. Call the number on your screen if you feel that you or your loved one may benefit from our services. Richmond County Hospice. Peace, comfort, dignity.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
Welcome back to the RO Sports Show's College Football Bowl Bash Special. And we've been through all of most of the smaller bowls, if you will, but it's time to get to some of the bigger bowls. So let's start first with the Peach Bowl. Now this is going to be Florida and Michigan. Of course, Michigan was that close to getting into the college football playoff, but not quite. So who you guys taking?
Well, actually, I got mine written down here as Michigan.
Yeah,
I think it's hilarious how Ohio State does that every year. But I'm going to go with Michigan on this one here to win the Peach Bowl.
Yeah, I went with Michigan. I just think the only danger they might have, I think they're a better team personally, but I think they might have a little bit of emotional letdown after really getting hyped up all year, thinking they were going to be right there at the end, and then same way as every year.
Yeah. This won't be a blowout, I don't think. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Michigan's going to have it in the end.
I would imagine most of the games we're getting ready to talk about, none of those are going to be a blowout, I would hope. Of course, we've been wrong on those before, but I'm still not sold on Florida. I'm not sure what it is. They've got a good quarterback in Felipe Franks, but Michigan has that defense, and I know Ohio State just shredded them up a couple weeks ago. But still, statistically, you've got one of the top defenses in the country. Florida sometimes has this tendency to get inside their own heads, and they make mistakes. They turn the ball over a lot. I expect that to happen. And plus, Shea Patterson under center for Harbaugh, I think will be the difference maker. Now, talking about Harbaugh, if they lose this game, actually win or lose, we talked about this all year. Do you think he splits?
No, I think he'll stay. If he wins the game, he'll stay. If he loses, he might be considering somewhere else, maybe in the NFL too.
Right.
I think he stays, man. I think he's going to stay regardless. I think he's building something good at Michigan, although he can't seem to get over that last hurdle, it seems like. But I think my gut feeling says he wants to see it through and beat Ohio State. I think he badly wants to do that, but whether he'll do it or not is another story.
Right. I would like to see him stay planted in one place
me
for
too.
a while because, he jumped around a little bit. But
it might not even be his choice at the end of the day. It might be Michigan's choice at the end. If they want Ohio State to lose against them eventually, they got to have somebody who can do it. And if Jim can't do it after year, They want to say, hey, we're going to find
How
somebody
many years
else.
has he been there now? 4?
Yeah, at least 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty much all his guys in the program now.
It's his people.
Yeah. So perhaps maybe he takes one more year after this and brings in another recruiting class. I mean, it's Michigan, so they're always going to get recruits.
Yeah.
The school kind of sells itself. It's one of those
does.
programs, so he wouldn't have any issues there. But perhaps maybe just the allure of going back to the NFL and not having to recruit, not having to quote unquote babysit sometimes, that sort of thing. Maybe that's appealing to him again, and I'm sure that the NFL would entertain it. So we have to wait and see on that. But up next is the Fiesta Bowl, and this one's very interesting. LSU and Central Florida. Who you got?
Look, LSU has had a great year, but so has UCF. Last year they went to a bowl game and they won that against a team that beat the 2 teams that were playing for national championship. UCF, they got away with a conference championship without their quarterback. They can beat LSU in this game.
Yep. I think UCF's still playing with that chip on their shoulder. I think they win this game. I know LSU is a great traditional SEC team, but I think UCF is going to win this game. I really feel that way.
We are all in accordance. We've all got the Knights taking this game. LSU had 3 losses. Now, you can argue it was the best 3 losses in the country. But UCF, I mean, look, Power 5, not Power 5. To go undefeated 2 years in a row, that's impressive. I don't care what program level.
You can't help who's on your schedule. They are winning games.
Absolutely right. And, I mean, again, we've seen them take on some of these big teams and defeat them. I don't see this being any different against LSU.
And I believe Florida, they even come out and said they would consider playing them.
Yep. And I hope that happens. I really hope that comes to fruition.
Yeah, and something that we've talked about, we can talk about it now, is, teams like UCF are going to need to schedule teams like Florida, those kind of schools of the world, in order to boost their resume. Because otherwise, unless you're in a Power 5, you have no shot of getting in.
That's right. I think those kind of games will help them. Help them, without a doubt.
Absolutely. So let's move on. Let's go on to the Rose Bowl, and this is going to be Pac-12 winner Washington against the Big Ten winner Ohio State. I think another really intriguing matchup.
Ohio State, they're furious they're not into the playoffs. They're going to go out there and they're going to send Washington home crying.
I think Ohio State is going to win this game without a doubt. Well, not without a doubt, but I think they win this game.
I've got the Buckeyes in this one as well. I think the Buckeyes are one of the best teams in the country.
Plus Urban Meyer's last game, isn't it?
Yep, it is going to be Urban's last game, at least till he comes back.
Yeah, unretires in a year.
Washington has a really good team too. Of course, I think they also lost 3 games, but again, they won the Pac-12.
That's right.
And I've talked about it all year, but Jake Browning, their quarterback, Miles Gaskins, their running back, but Ohio State, you could have made an argument that they should have been in Oklahoma's spot right now.
Easily. You could make that argument. And the way they just manhandled Michigan was shocking to me, because I thought Michigan might win that game.
Actually, they should even be ahead of Georgia right now on the list, because I think they're below them, right?
They are. Georgia fell in above them with 2 losses. So, go figure. SEC buzz. Moving on, the Sugar Bowl is going to be Texas and that same team, Georgia Bulldogs. Who you got?
That's who I got, Georgia.
I went with the Bulldogs. My friend Charlie, if he's watching, he'll love that. He's a Bulldog fan.
I will take the Bulldogs as well, and I'm sure that head coach Brian Till will feel the same, as I asked him about. He's taking Alabama, by the way. But yeah, I'm taking the Georgia Bulldogs. Texas, though, is a team I feel like is on the up and up again with Tom Herman.
I think they're right there.
They've got that quarterback, Sam Erlinger, I think is how you pronounce his name, and he's still just a sophomore, I believe. So what, you're not convinced?
I'm not buying it. I feel like they're kind of been hyped up by the media for the most part this season. I just don't know. As far as this season goes, I don't think they've got it in the back here against Georgia.
Well, I don't think they'll win this game, but I think they're on the way. I think they're definitely trending up. I think they'll be contending here for maybe that Final Four in a couple of years.
I'm right there with you. I mean, you've even made I guess that was Georgia you were talking about, but Texas. I've got some family down there, so they would like for me to give them some good words. But I agree. I think the Longhorns in the long run will be a formidable team, like they were when Mac Brown was there.
That's right.
And it all comes back around, because we hope Mac does the same thing in Chapel Hill. All right, guys, so that's all of the big bowls. Let's get to the biggest bowls.
All right.
Of course, first off, we've got the Cotton Bowl. That's going to be number 2 Clemson taking on number 3 Notre Dame. I think I'm in the minority on this one.
Well, I didn't like the fact Notre Dame got in without having a conference, but they will beat Clemson on this one. I think that they're just a better team as far as that goes. As Those two, yeah.
I picked Notre Dame. I'm going to make all the people in ACC country mad with this one, I know, but I think Notre Dame, I think that defense is going to handle Clemson. I do. Okay. I think Clemson's going to struggle somewhat.
You see the way that they played against South Carolina. That was one of their biggest games that they should have beaten the mess out of, really, I think.
Well, they did. They just gave up 35 in the process.
Yeah, and I think if South Carolina has so many injuries, they could probably get that game closer. But the fact is, I just don't think Clemson's really there. I mean, they're a great team overall, but they're just not going to get past Notre Dame. Notre Dame's on a high. We're not anywhere near right now.
All right, Notre Dame did two things this year that completely changed their season. One is they put Ian Book at quarterback and took Wimbush out.
He had a great year.
Then they started Dexter Williams running back, and he has just run rampant across everybody that they played. But this Clemson defense is a completely different animal.
I do agree with that.
4 guys that they rotate in and out that will be in the first 2 rounds next year of the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And then once those guys are leaving, they just plug in another 4. And you know how that goes. Alabama does the same thing. Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, even though he's a freshman, is one of those once-in-a-generation talents, is what they're calling him. Travis Etienne, the ACC Player of the Year. I mean, Notre Dame, they're good. I just don't I don't think this one will be too close. I think Clemson wins by maybe 10 or 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was actually banking on being closer.
Were you?
Yeah.
Like how close? 3 points?
I was going to say maybe 2 touchdowns at most.
Oh, wow. You're picking Clemson to lose by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. We'll make a side bet on that later. We'll take your money. And then finally, number 4, Oklahoma, and number 1, at least in your heart, Alabama.
Also wanted to say, as far as the ranking goes, they are number 1. So Alabama roll tide.
I think the criminal tide's going to win this one.
I've never heard that one. I'm also taking Alabama, and I will continue to take Alabama until I feel otherwise, which will be here in just a second. But, yeah, I mean, come on, it's Alabama. They played, except for maybe Clemson, they played
they're on another planet.
Head and shoulders above everybody else in the country. Yeah. I always wanted to give you a little smack talk, though, about that 10-10 tie at halftime against Citadel.
That's right. Go Citadel.
But other than that, Tua has just been phenomenal this year.
I don't know if he'll get to play in the game, at least the bowl game. But Jalen Hurts is still a great quarterback as well. So if they have 2 great quarterbacks that they can use in this game.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe he's got enough time to heal up. I mean, they've still got, I think, a couple weeks before they'll actually play that game. And I'm sure they'd like to have Tua back. But again, Jalen Hurts, capable backup.
Oh, yeah.
26-2 or something as a starter? Yeah, I think he'll do.
Yeah, he'll do just fine. All right, guys, so we're at the end of the road here. So you're taking Alabama, Notre Dame. You're taking Alabama, Notre Dame. And I'm taking Alabama, Clemson for what seems like the 12th year in a row.
That's right.
I'm not even sure which part we're on. So the final question, who you got for the championship?
I want to go last.
Okay, all right, you go last.
I'm going Notre Dame in a massive upset.
All right.
No logical reason. I think Alabama's head and shoulders, but I think Notre Dame finds a way to get after them with that defense and win this game.
Well, I mean, look, if you're in the top 4, you're there for a reason.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
Who you got?
All right. I was just going to see if I could trick you into doing it. I'm taking Clemson. I'm going to take the ACC team. I feel like if anybody can hang with Alabama, it will be Clemson because of their defense. They have the same kind of athletes on offense to be able to match up with them. And we've seen this matchup now for a few years. And I expect it to be a classic with Clemson getting on top. They're just going to flip-flop for the next few years.
Yeah, if that's the matchup, these 2 coaches know each other.
Yeah.
Great, better than anybody in the country, probably.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
All right, so I heard on Live at 5 a couple days ago, you guys were requesting a headgear thing going on. So I had some thinking about that, and I got headgear for you. So give me a second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot to check the bag.
Even away from the studio, you can't go.
I know, he's so sneaky with it.
Roll Tide.
I hope it's rollover Tide. Just
actually, if all you brought was a hat, I'm a little disappointed, to be honest with you. I was expecting a bobblehead or something.
Amazon couldn't get it in time.
That's awesome.
All right, so so you're taking Bama, and I've got Clemson, and you've got Notre Dame. So we've all got different picks. That's it's anybody's ball game. Of course,
that means you can put your money on Oklahoma.
That means it's Sooners all the way. Take that over-under. So, so that's going to do it for the RO Sports Show special, the College Football Bowl Bash. Before we go, though, I want to end on one thing. Imagine Dragons is going to be performing at the halftime show here. What's your opinion on it?
Well, after I found out that the bands were going to get to play anyways, I'm okay with it. I don't care for another band coming out there or a group or whatever playing at halftime. I want the bands, at least like a battle between the two or something like that on the field. That's more exciting than a band. This isn't the Super Bowl halftime show. This is college football where everything's kind of built around that tradition, all of that good stuff that comes with it. And I think bands should be recognized, especially at this level.
All right. Sounds good to me. I will leave it right there. So once again, we appreciate everybody tuning in across all of the RO Sports different shows that we have now. Of course, you can catch it 3 days a week. So once again, thank you to Strikers Bowling Alley for hooking us up, letting us come in and shoot this. And once again, thanks to Angel and Steve Thompson. For Russell Parker, Brand Fall, I am Matt Harrelson. We'll see you next week for more from the RO Sports Show.